We want the smoke. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the AR Wrestling Podcast. We are your hosts, Ryan and Alex. And as usual, we got a banger for you this week. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. But before we get started, what's popping around?
Not too much. I'm just pumped. I'm feeling good, man. How are you feeling?
I'm so excited because we are I think 3 or 4 weeks out from WrestleMania. It's getting that time of year where everything's about to blow up and we're going to learn so much new shit. I'm so excited.
Damn straight.
So yeah, but do you have any news this week?
No, this has been a pretty slow news week, in all honesty.
So let's just run it then. Come on. All right, so let's just hop right into Monday Night Raw. We got Cody Rhodes, the WWE Undisputed Champion, Io and Dakota Kai, Bianca and Seth freaking Rollins, and CM Punk. And then we see Jey Uso, but he's on the concourse like usual, and it leads right into Jey Uso versus Grayson Waller, who has Austin Theory in his corner. And honestly, this match, it was pretty interesting how they opened up Raw with the match. I was interested in that.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. But it kind of switch up in pace.
Yeah, so it definitely caught me off guard, to say the least. But you know how it be. Jey Uso always starts out hot. Come back from commercial though with Grayson Waller in charge, but Jey will later hit a Samoan drop to turn things around, which leads right into the hip attack, and then Austin Theory tries to intervene, but leads to a Jey Uso spear for the win. And then this is the more interesting part of the night. This part of the night, in my opinion. Where we at? Austin Theory blindside attacks Jey, and then obviously Jey is able to fight back a little bit, but the nervous game catches up. My question is, where the fuck's Alpha Academy? Because this question actually leads later on into the show, which is kind of interesting. Waller ends up getting sent outside. Theory ends up getting speared. He ends up also receiving a Uso splash, but Gunther sneaks in, locks in the sleeper, and then Jey again this week lays lifeless in the ring. Uh-oh. It's no bueno.
Oh, I'm ready for crash out Jey Uso. That's what I'm waiting for, bro.
Baby little
lay waste to Gunther, even though Gunther's my boy.
That bitch boy. Gunther's a bitch boy.
Ayo, back up off the man. It's all right.
Oh, I definitely agree with our girlfriends when they say he's ugly and he's dumb and all that. Yeah,
that's crazy. Everyone's against Gunther right now. I'm fighting. Everyone still on that bandwagon.
You can be on that bandwagon all you want, but I'm going to tell you this right now: Jey Uso's winning at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he should win at Mania.
So
love Gunther, but yep, it's Uso's time. Yeet.
So after this, though, we get pulled into a promo video, basically just for the Steel Cage main event. Seth Rollins and CM Punk, whatever. 10 years they chanted my name until hell froze over. We see CM Punk's return. Rollins crashing the party the Monday Night Raw after the Raw Netflix debut kickoff show fight, and then their match for the Raw Netflix debut. Elimination Chamber where Punk eliminates Rollins, but Rollins ends up screwing him later on. Then we see last week's CM Punk promo, which shows the fight that they had out in the arena. It shows Roman B take it out as well, which I thought was interesting. So it goes, who's the best in the freaking world? And it's either Seth Rollins sitting backstage and CM Punk getting warmed up. So who really is the best in the world? Because there was no technical win. There was a win, but it wasn't very technical.
Wasn't a decisive win.
It wasn't a decisive. No, it was not. So what do you think, Ryan? Who's the best in the world, CM Punk or Seth freaking Rollins?
I gotta cheer for Punk. Obviously, it's my guy. He is the best in the world. Dude, no one can cut a better promo than Punk, in all honesty. In WWE, everyone's upped their game in these past year or so, 2 years or 3 years, but nah, no one's on the level of Punk still, especially after that promo from last week.
I agree to that, honestly. I could say Punk is probably one of the most gifted on the mic, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely people better than him in the ring. I think Logan Paul's better than Punk in the ring, in my opinion.
Depends on the night
Just
when it
depend.
comes to
Just
Logan Paul. But yeah,
well,
Punk is not the best in-ring wrestler, like
and that's
at
just
all.
because he's
Like
all.
at
It's.
all.
I mean, Father Time is just not it. It's nobody's friend.
Right. But if you want to buy into a
So
storyline, I'm pretty sure like you're gonna find someone. Sorry, I got mixed up on words.
no, you're
You're
fine.
gonna have a hard time finding someone who's gonna hook you as well as CM Punk's gonna hook you,
Oh
in
yeah.
my opinion.
So after this, we see Jey Uso with the trainers backstage again. Where was Alpha Academy? So Alpha Academy, they come in and check on him. They say they have his back. So my question again: where the fuck were they at?
Where were they? Come on, Otis.
That doesn't make any sense to me. You're gonna say you're gonna be here for him, but you're nowhere to be seen.
Right.
So after this, though, I mean, we obviously get the internet star, the Maverick, Logan Paul. He goes Madison Square Garden, and dude,
Fuck this dude.
the heat this man receives, it just blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. Hold on. He goes, look, AJ Styles, you were supposed to. He was supposed to come out here, call me out or something, but I thought I beat him to the punch. I don't like guys like AJ. When you hear Logan Paul, you hear The Rock, John Cena, names of guys who will do anything it takes to get to the top. Which, to be honest, is why I'm so shocked. That Cody Rhodes was dumb enough to reject The Rock's offer. It took John Cena 20 years to realize nice guys finish last, which is why The Rock, buddy, considered my soul for sale. I don't run from opportunities, and then he ends up pointing out Andrew Schultz, which I think he's a comedian. I think.
Yeah. Comedian
He
podcaster.
goes, real recognize real, talent recognize talent, and gives Schultz a mic. He goes, give Schultz a mic. Andrew takes the mic, and he goes, I came out to Madison Square Garden for the reason we're all here, for the steel cage match, to see CM Punk Seth Rollins. And Logan goes, well, yeah, who else did you come see tonight? Andrew goes, Logan, no one wants you here. This isn't Cleveland. This is New York City. This is a real arena, and we like real wrestlers. I want to see AJ Styles. But Logan drags him over the barricade and throws him into the ring, and Logan goes for his finisher when AJ Styles comes out, starts whipping ass, hits the phenomenal forearm. Logan rolls out of the ring and walks away. But AJ hops on the mic and goes, "Get your ass back in this ring! Come on, Logan! Come on! You say you don't run from opportunities. So you're gonna walk your sorry ass to the back? Come on, Logan! This is NYC. Andrew, this is NYC. I mean, I think we might see something between these two in the near future.
Mania potentially.
That'd be such a good match.
That's kind of what I'm kind of floating towards right now in terms of
Really.
um an idea for a Mania match between Punk and or not Punk, sorry, Paul and him, because I can't really think of anything else for either of them.
Mm.
I mean, AJ's kind of floated away from the Intercontinental scene, and it seems like Balor is kind of floated back into there and taken that
Why not
spot.
have all of them in?
You definitely could, but I haven't seen anything that's going to lead Paul to the IC title yet.
That's true. That's true.
Yet being the
So,
key word.
keyword is yet, yeah. So after this, though, we get a replay of the main event from last week. We got some highlights. It was the Women's World Championship, Io versus Rio. And I still think, personally, that Io should have been DQ'd when Bianca put hands on Rio. But we learn later on that Michael Cole interviews Io Sky. Again, I have my personal opinion on this. I'm going to hold it. So that's just me.
Thanks.
But after this, we learned that UFC partners with, I want to say it was like Saudi Arabia or something, kind of like how WWE did it with it, and Nick Khan. So then we also learned Freddie Roach is ringside. He's a UFC Boxing Hall of Fame coach, and Callum Walsh is ringside, and Freddie Roach is actually coaching him right now for his next fight. And then we see highlights of the past in Madison Square Garden. We get Bruno Sammartino versus Ivan Koloff, 1975 steel cage match. And then we see Obafemi, the NXT Men's Champion, ringside, which leads us into our Tornado tag match, The New Day versus LWO. But what were your thoughts when you saw, or when they were bringing up like these older moments? I kind of like the fact that we could reminisce a little bit.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's not times that you and me were alive for, got to witness, but it's cool to
We could
see that
definitely
they
go back and
still.
find a way to watch them. 100.
Yeah,
percent
definitely. I mean, it's still cool that they push them so hard nowadays to be like, do not forget, like, this is
Where we came
how it all
from.
started. Like, yeah, don't
Yeah.
forget where we came from. You worded it
So
perfectly there.
as the match starts, LWO starts out hot, and we come back from commercial with a New Day in charge. Dragon Lee hits an insane Hurricane Rana onto Woods, sending him into the table. But Ray hits a 619 onto Kofi. Kofi catches him off the splash, but a masked man attacks Dragon Lee. Ray ends up receiving it. This is all like within like 5 seconds. Ray receives a delayed German. The masked man, or no, the mask of the masked man, red American made. The man ran through the crowd, but my dumbass honestly thought it was Ray Phoenix for a second.
Bro, this dude
But I was
yelled,
thinking,
"Gracias!"
but I realized that's not how. If that's how they're gonna like point him or like bring him up, that is so fucked up.
Yeah,
He's the
yeah.
hottest free agent right now. Well, he's signed. I'm pretty sure he's signed. But like, if we're gonna like look in wrestling world, he's the biggest free agent right now.
Right,
Honestly,
yeah, that was I thought the same thing about it potentially being Ray Phoenix, like right off of the bat.
yeah.
Something SmackDown leads me to believe otherwise, obviously now.
Oh
But like,
right.
dude, I thought this was so fucking good. I love Chad Gable in this entire storyline, and like, I hope. What if it's not? What if it's not even Chad Gable? Who the fuck is it?
Hornswoggle.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
Hornswoggle
wish.
is not that tall.
I
But
wish.
to close out this match, I do want to say the New Day hit their tag finisher for the win. Still don't even know what it's called.
No, no. It's something like up, up, down, down, or something like that. It's something to do with like their YouTube channel, I think,
I
or like
got
their
you.
old gaming. I don't know for sure. Might be wrong.
But after this, we do see Braun Breaker and Finn Balor highlights from last week, which leads us to the Judgment Day locker room. And Finn is pissed about Braun Breaker and recalls everything that happened. And the
Balor.
Carlitos just kind of staring at an apple. But Liv, Dom, and Raquel walk in. Liv says they have everything handled. We learn Bailey versus
Poor
Raquel for a shot at
Carlito.
Lyra is going to happen. Dominic's got some news. He spoke to Pierce for Finn. We get Finn Balor versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. And Finn, all he's got to do is just talk to Pierce. Finn kind of sits there, hugs Dom. He goes, you know what? I'm going to go talk to Pierce. And then Liv starts talking a little bit of shit about Finn, but Dom goes, nah, I believe in him, trust. Kind of interested.
Believe in Finn.
Then after this, we just see some stars ringside. We got Peter Rosenberg, the play-by-play for Evolve, WWE Evolve, and we got Macaulay Culkin ringside as well. I saw a picture of him like 24 years apart in Madison Square Garden. I don't remember what it was, but it's pretty interesting. But then after this, we got Cody Rhodes. So we can talk about why I'm here. You know, it's the home base for the WWE. It's the Garden. My opponent, John Cena. John actually kind of is getting mixed reactions. Who I know is going to be at WrestleMania 41 and is not here tonight. John's, my opinion, John's pussy. But apparently he told his inner circle, I guess that consists of, Travis Scott and the final boss, The Rock. He told them he won't be here, but he'll be in Belgium next week. I don't know if I like that. Names off some things Cena did at Madison Square Garden. But it's an easy decision to swing at someone when you have backup. And I won't grudge a legend for calling a shot. John Cena part-time is better than some full-time. And that's fact. I agree. The day after Elimination Chamber, though, Cena goes on a social media. And when things happen, when it's live on Netflix, John Cena is sitting somewhere watching him, let him hear it. And we get Let's Go Cena chance and Cena sucks chance. But I do want to point out this tweet, which I want to know your thought on it. Let me log in. I think you might have a better take on this than I do.
Okay.
If this thing will load. I got a new laptop. We know this. I hate this thing already. Just because none of my stuff's logged in, I have to re-log into everything.
Right.
So he tweets out the day after, which would have been March 3rd, right? He tweets out, have the discipline to do what needs done, especially when you don't feel like it. I'm kind of interested in that because, he says that, but he also sold out. Sold out. Yeah. I
Discipline
don't know.
to do what needs done. This fucking guy. From a fan. Well, okay, hold on. From a wrestling I just dropped like 5 different things on the ground. Sorry.
Nice.
Now my brain scrambled. From like a wrestling like insider fan point of view, I absolutely love like heel John Cena. From the side of the fan that likes to buy into my role as a wrestling fan, fuck this guy.
Mm-hmm. I said the same, to be honest. But he did take the X. You know what needs to be done? You ever have that person that you wanted to be challenged by? At a certain point, you have to say, John, sit down, you goddamn moron. Best for business, right? Nobody defined best for business more than John Cena, and I think we know what's best for business. It's one man's delusion. That is 17. 17 doesn't happen though. I get the heartbreaking privilege of beating my hero at WrestleMania for the last time. John, I'm the captain now, and as of Monday, we are 40 days away from WrestleMania 41. We're 4 weeks out. 5 weeks out.
Yes, we are. This is insane. I am pumped as of right now. It's tomorrow, really, that we get to see this first promo off between these two, where we're gonna get nice speech, kid.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, Cena's probably gonna just eviscerate this dude. Like, I'm so excited to see this promo off between these two.
Why
Just
should
an
it be like
interaction.
the press conference where he just shows up, drops a mic, and leaves?
I fucking hate that.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd hate that. You've held it off long enough. I'm ready for the like. You've had Cody come out like 3 or 4 separate times now to talk shit on Cena without him being there. It's time we get Cena's response now. Did you see on social media he covered up the bald spot?
Yeah.
It's completely covered now.
It's heel Cena, man.
Oh god.
We're here. So now we see Liv, Dom, and Raquel backstage. You know, Bailey walking backstage as well. Just the number one contender. They're getting ready for the number one contenders match. Then we get Madison Square Garden 1983 steel cage match. Jimmy Snuka versus Don Morocco. Another little highlight throughout the years. Just kind of, again, I was really fucking with this. But we see Ali An, I think it's that was, Selling the City Cast, Rich the Kid, and Amanda Serrano all ringside. And where the hell were they? I forget where they were. Anyways, we're literally talking in the garden. I just said that. Okay. New York. Anyways, after this, though, we get the number one contenders match. And the match goes on. Raquel starts out hot, but we come back from commercial with Raquel still in charge. Bailey's able to hit her elbow drop. We get the ooh yeah from Pat McAfee. Love that little commentary, dude. I agree with Michael Cole. Pat he doesn't try to be a wrestling commentator. He doesn't try to be a wrestling guy. He's just Pat.
Yeah, no, he's just a wrestling fan commentating on the match. It's awesome.
Bailey sends Raquel into the ring post though. Dom distracts the ref, which is able for Liv to take advantage of Bailey, and Raquel hits a Tahana bomb for the win. I'm really surprised because those two are wreaking havoc right now, especially with what happened on SmackDown with them and Jade, wreaking absolute havoc.
Yeah, those two are running muckshot now. Well, they have the tag titles, which doesn't tie them now to one brand. They can jump between both shows now.
Yeah.
Which I wish we had more than one title that let people do that, but I think there's just too many belts in wrestling in general right now.
Yeah, they need to back up a little bit, to be honest. Yeah. But so this is the question that everybody was wondering throughout the night. Who was the masked man? And Kathy Kelly is trying to ask him if he was the man under the mask, and Kathy starts accusing him. Gable starts pleading his case. But we see the guy in the American-made lucha mask being taken out by security behind them. So who is this guy?
That's what's got me all confused now. Because obviously
we're never gonna get this answer.
We better get this answer. We better get this answer. I swear to God. But we're like, oh my goodness. Because obviously I thought it was Chad Gable right away. And he goes, Gracias!
Which makes sense. That's what I was thinking.
But do we have a new member of American Made now in this luchador? Or
Tozawa.
I don't even know, dude. Oh, Tozawa!
It's Tozawa. No, I'm kidding.
Dude, I love that.
But after this, we see Io and Dakota Kai backstage getting ready for, I think it was Dakota Kai's match, I forget. And then we see Madison Square Garden, Steel Cage 1988, Randy Savage versus the Million Dollar Man, Ted DiBiase. We see William Jackson, Chris Diaz, Josh Sagara, and Nardo Wick all ringside in New York City. And we get the Io Sky interview with Michael Cole. Michael Cole, we get Io chants and, congratulates her on going to WrestleMania as a women's world champion. But how's she feeling? She goes, Michael, it's a dream to be at Madison Square Garden as champion. I proved that impossible is possible. And now that I am over the moon to be a champion going to WrestleMania. And Michael introduces Bianca. Bianca congratulates Io. And she goes, I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, but Michael says, is it fair to say if Bianca wasn't out there, Rhea would be champ? Bianca goes, I wasn't planning on doing anything. I was just out there to see who my WrestleMania opponent would be. I apologize, but if Rhea thinks that she can put her hands on me, she's wrong. And I'm just trying to focus on WrestleMania. We get Rhea coming out. She goes, cut the music, like smacking the shit out of the mic. She goes, so Bianca, let me ask you, what was the reason? Bianca's like, I won Elimination Chamber. He goes, if you weren't out here to intervene, what was the point? Was it to help Io because you're scared of me? There was no reason for you to be out here. Maybe you should have just let me handle my business with Io while you handle yours with Naomi and Jade. Bianca goes, you're just going to bring that up? Okay, let's be real. You're not mad I didn't clap for you. You're mad because I clapped for Io. This whole thing is a defense mechanism because you can't beat Io. But Rhea shoves Io in the face as Io walks up. And she goes, so you're trying to hide behind Io and you hid behind Naomi and Jade. Both are arguing. Io slaps them both, which I think is setting up WrestleMania 41. And she walks out pissed the fuck off.
Let's go, Io. I'm sure she got the biggest pop
41.
of all of them when she did that.
Oh my God, she did. Io's a bad bitch.
Mm-hmm. I am really pumped for this triple threat.
I am too.
Like I think I've mentioned it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. I think I've mentioned it a few times where I don't like how many triple threats have been talked about on the Mania card.
Yeah.
But this is one that looks like for sure going to be happening on the cards, and I'm all for it for this one.
Yeah, if this happens, it'll be interesting because here's the thing: say Rhea wins this, just say it happens.
Yeah,
that gives Io the protected loss, which helps that feud even more. Huh?
I mean, does she pin Io though?
No, I think Bianca gets pinned.
So would you have Rhea winning this match in general?
Yes.
And have Io have like a 1 month title reign?
Yes. Well, I mean, the contract signing is tomorrow night, so we get more from the contract signing,
right?
Which I'm excited about.
Yeah, I bet you Rhea's going to interrupt that, and some shit's going to go down.
By the way, is Jay and Gunther ever going to do theirs? Is Cena and Cody going to do theirs? Like, or is this just the only one? Who's going to do? Is Jay and Gunther going to do a contract signing? Is Rhea and not Rhea? Is Cody and Cena going to do one? Is Tiffy and Charlotte going to do one? Like, what is going on?
I don't know. It's a very fair thing to point out.
Because this is the only one that's had a contract signing.
What the heck?
Yeah, I just want to point that out. This is the only one so far with a contract signing.
Yeah, that's strange. But as of right now, honestly, I think I might be backing Io in this triple threat scenario. I might change my mind on that, but as of right now, I'm liking Io.
Well, honestly, I think my pick is going to have to be what happened on SmackDown. I think what happened on SmackDown is going to be Bianca winning at WrestleMania.
Bianca Belair, the EST.
Good. The EST is going to be the champion. So after this, though, we see Punk and Rollins walking to the ring for the steel cage match, and then we get to our main event. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk steel cage match, Madison Square Garden in 2025. The match starts out with Rollins throwing his jacket at Punk, and both basically just trade blows for like 5 minutes. And then Punk goes for a running knee, but Rollins counters with a buckle bomb into the cage, but Rollins later taunts Punk, telling him to leave the cage. And Punk responds with a middle finger. And Punk hits the go to sleep. Mind you, there is many times he gets to go to sleep in this match, and it just blows me. Punk is to go to sleep and waits for Rollins to get up and use the cage against him, but he hits a running knee to the back of the head instead. And Punk starts taunting Rollins to leave the cage now. Punk climbs to the top of the cage looking like he's going to escape, but him and Rollins fight up there, but Punk is not able to do anything. He eats a superplex, and Punk hits another go to sleep. Mind you, this is the second go to sleep now. And then later on, Punk goes for a third go to sleep, but Rollins counters with a STF, the move that eliminated him from the chamber. And Rollins screams at Punk to tap out, but Punk counters with the Anaconda Vice. And Rollins tries using a rope break. Fucking dumbass. Rollins hits a stomp on Punk, though, and Rollins attempts a super stomp, but Punk counters now. Now, keep it with me. With his fourth go to sleep. Punk hits his own stomp. He goes, Rollins says, "If you want my house, take it from me, bitch." And Rollins hits his own go to sleep into a stomp. But I wouldn't be, or right here, I put a little note. I said, I wouldn't be pissed if that's how he started ending every match, because that's low-key a nasty combo.
Mm-hmm.
But Rollins hits a super stomp, and he just lays there on the ropes, and the crowd starts going nuts. And Roman Reigns comes through the crowd, dragging Rollins out, and Rollins gets thrown on the ground, scared shitless. Technically, Seth Rollins wins via Roman Reigns' interference. But after the match, Roman Reigns Superman punches Rollins. Reigns spears him, and he hits a stomp of his own. We get OTC chants, and at this point in time, in 24 hours, all Shield members did hit a stomp.
That was freaking awesome. That was a really cool thing that I saw.
But Rollins gets dragged over to the ring steps, and security gets involved.
They're forever tied together.
Yeah, that's true. Roman said, "I'm going to end it all for you," but this is where I get mad. The fuck is this bullshit? Where was security at the Royal Rumble? This bullshit. Bullshit. CM Punk and Paul Heyman are seen in the ring consoling together after the match, and Roman throws Punk into the cage twice on each side, and Roman spears Punk, and this sets up a WrestleMania 41 triple threat.
Wow.
I don't like this as a triple threat, though.
I don't either. I prefer if they were going to run the ones.
And honestly, I want it to be Punk and Rollins.
Honestly, I want Rollins and Roman. I want those two to have that beef settled after Roman a year ago threw away his fucking million-year-long title reign just to get back at Rollins. I kind of like that story, honestly.
Hear me out. Roman's retirement match, or Rollins' retirement match, whoever retires first is the other's opponent.
That's crazy.
That's how you finally settle the beef.
That's crazy. Because no matter how you sell it now, these two have to have these two are.
They have to run the ones one more time for the best 3 out of 5.
Yeah, we've got.
They've only ever faced each other 4 times since the Shield broke up, and that's 11 years. It'll be 11 years ago in June this year.
I don't know the actual record of that. I heard on a YouTube video that I just watched and was listening to in the background that they were 2-2 in those matches. I think Rollins was. Oh, they are.
They are 2-2.
Oh, bro, then you have to. I just threw my phone on the ground. But yeah,
they have to run the 3.
Just have to run the last one. Yeah.
So that's all I got for Raw. But I mean, again, this is WrestleMania season, baby. We got it. We got in this shit. We're in the thick of it now. Let's do it.
Exactly. We're starting to heat up. The European tour officially begins, though, and it began on SmackDown in Barcelona, Spain. And as we enter the show, opening camera shot, it is going nuts in there. The crowd is wild. You would think it was for a PLE type shit.
Oh my god.
Joe Tessitore welcomes us to the tour and the beginning of the WWE European tour. I just messed up on my words there, but it's okay. We see Cody Rhodes walking into the building, our WWE champion, as well as our world heavyweight champion, Gunther. We see Carmelo Hayes, who's set with a match against Randy Orton, who we also see walking in, as well as in our main event, it's the Street Profits and DIY walking in for a WWE Tag Team title match. And then Paul Heyman comes with a soccer ball and pretends to throw it at somebody. Thought it was good. We love the wise man. He's here to talk about Roman Reigns, obviously, and address everything on Monday. But show gets going proper with the megastar, the brand new United States champion, LA Knight.
Yeah.
He gets a huge welcome from the show, and he stops like on the entrance ramp, and he's like, "Holy shit!" Like he's taken aback. Even this crowd is amazing. I loved it. Gets to the ring and he goes, "Yeah." Crowd
Yeah.
erupts. They go, "Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let me talk to you."
Yeah.
Right now, we are making history. The first SmackDown ever in Barcelona. And I might be the U.S. champion, but by God, I'm worldwide. And it was way too long that he stood without this title around his waist, but it's back where it should be, with everybody saying
Oh,
L.A.
hey,
Knight.
night. Yeah.
Yeah, we hear Uso.
I was born a
Jimmy
king.
Uso comes out, Big Brother now. He interrupts the champ and he goes, "The U.S. title is back with the megastar." But he ain't here to congratulate him. He's here because he's desperate. The only way to start his road to WrestleMania is to make his stand now and to challenge him for the U.S. title. And before I move on to the segment, what are your thoughts on this right away?
These two?
Yeah, these two.
Give me it. Give me Jimmy
Uso,
Uso, U.S. title.
damn straight. Jimmy Uso trying to step up and like match his brother, so to speak.
Exactly.
Like I gotta get my shit now. Like Jay's on his own. Like he's got the world title match. I gotta get mine now. I gotta get my bread, bro.
Exactly. Exactly.
But he's not the only member of the family after this belt because Solo Sikoa makes his way to the ring accompanied by Tama and Fatu. And he goes, "If there is anyone who deserves a U.S. title shot, that should be Jacob Fatu. A few weeks ago, you stole the pin, LA Knight, and it's because of that reason right there that you are champ and not Fatu. Big brother, how about you step aside since you are now the biggest failure of the entire family? And biggest failure I ever made, this is Jimmy talking, he goes, biggest failure I ever made was trusting you, my little brother." And this sets off Solo, Tama, and Fatu to jump them before the monster of all monsters, Braun Strowman. He comes out there, levels the playing field, and all this is out soon after to make a six-man tag official right now. And crowd is obviously loving this. Barcelona going nuts.
Dude, I was
This
excited. I thought it was gonna be the main event.
I know, right? Like instantly, I was like, "Oh shit, that's a lot of star power right there."
Mm-hmm.
But nah, how legit? How are you feeling about the crowd though? Like, if this is the first one, the first European crowd of this entire tour, and this is how we're starting it off. And we haven't even gotten people like John Cena really on the shows, like Roman, like no punks really. Like this is gonna be awesome.
I think I don't think Belgium's gonna be as loud because Spaniards are pretty loud. Not going to lie. Spanish are very, very loud when it comes to being supportive of whatever they like. I don't know if you ever like seen like soccer games, like listen to the background, but holy shit, those guys do not hold back.
No, they do not. Do not hold back during this one either.
Hell no.
And this goes on now to our first match of the evening. Solo Sikoa, Tamatonga, and Jacob Fatu versus Jimmy Uso, LA Knight, and Braun Strowman. This match gets going during a commercial, but when we come back, it's Solo in control of his older brother as he tags in and out with the others on his team. Then Knight and Fatu have a back and forth, ending with a neck breaker, and Knight mocking Fatu's emotes, doing the whole jiggle, 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 fucking jerking around and shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Funny
yeah,
as
yeah,
hell.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I do like that Fatu. I don't know if you've noticed it as much as I have, but Fatu, Fatu and Knight have had this kind of like mini rivalry, sort of.
I know. I'm kind of liking it.
That's why this is kind of why I've been hoping that it leads to a Mania match between them. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of rocky on it, on if they'll go through, but we'll see.
No, I feel you on that.
We'll know your
We'll have to
thoughts on
see.
that. Yeah.
If it goes through, I don't know if it, dude. I don't know. Because if you have Jacob go win that title, who do you take it off? Who takes it off of him to start
Yeah.
with?
You could have him go on a Gunther reign with it. Just
Yeah.
have him hold it for a long ass time. Because the
I like that.
relatively speaking, the only person who's had a really long title reign is Cody and Gunther, our world champs. And Gunther's been
Yes.
since SummerSlam. Cody's been since Mania.
Well, then if you want, let's add Braun Breaker onto that list too, because Breaker was before
Breaker
SummerSlam. Or
lost it in that
Breaker was.
little bit in
Oh
the
no!
middle
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Jey
yeah.
Uso.
Yeah.
You,
Fuck, wrong fucking yeet.
I mean,
Um,
it counts because he's been in the picture and back and forth
yeah.
with it.
No, I get that. It's technically a second range, it's true.
Hmm.
So
But I would like to see Fatu take that U.S. title. I do love LA Knight, but take that U.S. title and elevate it to a level back where it should be.
yeah,
But we're gonna let me get back
I
into
think
the. Oh,
I
I'm
think you
sorry.
should do
Keep going.
open challenges like John Cena or something. Like you said, keep it like in the picture. Do open challenges.
And that could work with somebody like Fatu, even as a heel, where he can be like ain't nobody able to step up to me. Like I open up the door right now. Anybody can step out here, and I'm a dog walk their ass, no matter who it is, every single week.
Exactly.
Like you could turn it into like this heroic, like honorable challenge thing. To Fatu just wants to murk fools week by week.
Fatu would murder people.
Hmm.
I feel like if Fatu holds the championship, he has to defend it weekly,
Yeah, that should be a must. It'd be that would be pretty
or at
cool.
least bi-weekly.
Yep. Because I'm tired of this whole. Even with our mid card champs, they barely defend them anymore.
Yeah, this shit's
In
getting
all
boring. Like I
honesty,
get it's WrestleMania season, but like, come on, give us some
yeah.
exciting shit.
Give us a little bit more week by week
What
would
is
be
WrestleMania season? But I guess almost WrestleMania. But give us some exciting shit. Come on.
facts. Now I'll get right back into the rest of this match though. Solo distracts the ref, giving him momentum through another commercial. But Braun Strowman, he'll get in there and eventually he takes everyone out with the Strowman Express. And Knight and Big Jim fly with some dives. And Strowman hits Tama with an just vicious power slam, dude. It looked like he planted him into the ring mat. It was insane. Well, look personal, but he got the
Because it
win with
was.
that one. And after the match, it's pretty awesome because a brawl breaks out between everyone outside of the ring. Fatu gets in there with Strowman, though. He repeatedly headbutts him and leaves him on the ground. He hits a moonsault. He climbs up to the ropes, hits another moonsault, climbs up to the ropes, hits a third moonsault. And as he pretends to leave with Tamatonga, Jacob turns around on the rampway and runs back at Strowman, giving him a hip attack through the barricade into the timekeeper area.
Bah! Two!
Bah! Doo! That Fatu shit can't keep him down, bro. And I've seen people talk about this being a Mania match, but this gets made official actually for a week from the show happening. Well, the
Oh,
show that I'm
word.
talking about happening.
Mm-hmm. So
So
on
next
Friday,
week,
where are they at on Friday?
yeah,
Where are they at on
Friday.
Friday? They're like France or something. I don't know where they're at.
Oh, they talked about it. I can't exactly remember.
I know we're in Belgium though tomorrow, and I'll
Yeah,
get
I
all the
know.
notifications while I'm in fucking
Belgium.
class
Yeah,
or
right.
work. So
But now we'll move on from that. Now we'll get more on another segment with them all later. We get a replay now of what happened between Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi at the Elimination Chamber. Before we cut to an interview with Kathy Kelly and Jade Cargill in an empty arena. Kathy asks her how these past few months have been since the attack, and Jade answers with physically, I'm ready to go. And after the Elimination Chamber and SmackDown, um, and seeing everything that she had went through, seeing what Naomi said on SmackDown, acting like she was the victim, it's pathetic. Thinking I needed to use anyone to get to where I'm at, and as if I need handouts. Shit. If she gets to dictate what I deserve, and how well did that work out for her? And how did Jade know she was the attacker? And why didn't she say anything sooner about it? And all she can remember is being hit from behind and being thrown onto the car. The only thing she remembers as it all went dark was saying, Naomi, run away. We were the big three. She didn't just attack me physically, she attacked my integrity, my loyalty, and my heart. And how can I trust anyone after that? I knew I had to take things into my own hands, and she said something right last week. She should have pushed me harder. Liv, Morgan, and Raquel walk in now, and they start mocking her, who starts to just lose her mind on them. And Jade and Liv agree to meet next week in a match. Kind of weird though
Man.
that Jade doesn't really have a clear memory of anything happening. Just she got pushed, and then she sees Naomi run away.
Well,
I don't know. I think there's a couple holes in that story that I'm not. I think we're not fully done figuring out who
when did
the
that happen?
attacker.
When did that happen?
What?
Do you remember when Naomi or when Naomi was being accused, or when the night Jade was attacked? Do you remember the night Jade was attacked?
I don't remember the exact date. No, but it was a night that Bianca wasn't in. Well, Bianca had a qualifier match. She was in the ring because it was for the U.S. title tournament. Because it was
Oh,
before
that
War
was like,
Games. It was
yeah, that
before
was like,
War Games. Remember? Because Bailey's the one that replaced her in that match.
I'll figure it out. I need to know.
I don't know. I just think that this investigation on who attacked Jade Cargill isn't over. Because I saw a really interesting thing that someone pointed out. Like, what if the reason Naomi and Bianca were being so dramatic and screaming at each other and all that is what if they're just playing, like, and they just want to be over the top and like just to convince everyone that they're against each other when really they're conspiring against Jade
That's true.
to try and help Bianca save face until she wins the US or the women's world title.
I don't say I don't. Yeah, I think so it was Naomi, because remember you were just saying like Bianca had this match. It was the U.S. Women's Championship match.
Mm-hmm.
I that yeah. I just found it. It was, I don't remember when this was. I think it was like before. It had to be like right after Bad Blood. I think is what it was. I don't know. But the whole because Bianca was out in the ring, I think Naomi was the one that did it because there was nobody else seen with Naomi.
Right. I still think
So
Naomi did it, but I think I don't know. I also liked the idea of the whole Lash Legend Jakar Jackson idea from a
I know
while
that
ago.
one from the one that we had seen on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's just my personal take on it. I think that as of now, I don't think the investigation is fully over, and I think that there's one more twist in this still yet to come.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna get security photo or security footage.
Mm-hmm. I am liking the story though, personally.
Me too.
But now we'll move on to Charlotte Flair, the Queen. Woo! In her
Woo!
in her first singles match back since her Royal Rumble return, she's taking on B-Fab. And Charlotte mugs her off at the beginning, but B-Fab shows her why that's a mistake going into a commercial. But when we return, Charlotte is fully in control, repeatedly driving her head into the mat, and a biffed big boot from B-Fab gets her a 2 count. But Charlotte soon hits the natural selection and tells everyone to bow down as she locks in the figure 8 for the win. After the match, though, is where shit gets spicy. Charlotte refuses to break the hold, and Tiffany Stratton's music hits as she comes to the ring, and a huge brawl breaks out. It's like 20 freaking security guards come down to the ring to try and separate them. We get like
It's Tiffy time.
it's Tiffy time, 3 separate like segments where they're diving onto everyone and everyone gets taken out. But it ends with Tiffany hitting the big one off the top rope and taking out every single member of security until she's dragged away and separated from Charlotte.
As we thought.
Damn straight. I'm excited now. Like this has felt a little bit cold now, this feud, but it feels like we're starting to heat up and I'm loving it.
Oh yeah, me too.
Just one simple brawl and I'm already more invested in this feud than I was.
Yep.
Ole,
It's Tiffy time. I'm telling you, dude. It's Tiffy
ole.
time all the time. This shit, Tiffy's gonna win it.
She is
The
getting
queen's gonna put over the princess.
dude, I don't know. I think we're gonna be rooting for two different people at Mania.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm telling you, Tiffany's winning it. If Tiffany doesn't win it, I riot.
Woo!
All right, this guy,
Woo!
this guy.
The
Thought we were friends, Ryan.
queen.
Thought we were
The
friends, Ryan.
queen. We are. Don't worry, it'll be Tiffy time again at some point. It's Tiffy
All
time
the
all the
time.
time, actually.
Oh my God. No matter
And
what.
no matter what, exactly. Now we'll go on to Drew McIntyre, though. He has a vignette. And he goes, "Oh, for the longest time,
Wasn't
I've
hold
been
on? Wasn't this your guy at like SummerSlam?
at SummerSlam. What? He was fighting
Was it?
Punk.
Yeah, wasn't he your guy though? Like he was the one. He was your guy for a while,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
and now he's called. You know
He's
what?
not my
Ryan's
guy. He's not my
Ryan's turned a
guy.
new
Okay,
Ryan's
he's
turned a
never
new
been
leaf.
my guy. He's never been my guy.
Ryan's turned a new
Punk's
leaf.
always been my guy. Gunther's always been my guy. I like Drew. I like Drew though, but he is
Oh
a little
God,
bit of a crying little bitch, and he needs to fix his shit and start kicking
just like
people in the
Gunther.
face more. Whoa!
You heard me.
Whoa! We're throwing shade.
I'm
That's a
throwing shit
crazy low
everywhere.
blow considering I'm not going to talk shit about Jey Uso.
Yeet.
Crazy. Yeet. All right. I see where the bar's at now. Drew McIntyre, though, he's going to talk in a vignette. He goes, for the longest time, he's been focused on the people right in front of him. And now he's realized that every time he got screwed, one person kept benefiting, and Damian Priest, who's shown on the screen now. He calls back to his world title win at WrestleMania last year. It was the greatest moment of his entire career until it wasn't. He was attacked from behind, and Damian Priest robbed him by cashing in his briefcase. But it doesn't end there, though, does it? My own home country, Scotland, at Clash at the Castle. I was screwed again, and what happened? He picked the bones once again. So fast forward 1 month, I try to fight fire with fire. Money in the bank with money in the bank. I cash in, get screwed again, and that parasite priest capitalized. That brings us to the Royal Rumble. As soon as my back is turned, I'm eliminated. Now the Elimination Chamber. I'm about to pin John Cena and go on to WrestleMania. What happened? You just couldn't help yourself. You snuck up behind, stole the pin, so I dropped your ass. So, you wanted my attention, now you've got it. This isn't about the world title anymore. This is about putting you down for good. Potential Mania feud. I don't even think
I'm buying the
potential at
rumor.
this point.
I'm
Yeah, I don't
buying
even
the
think
rumor.
potential at this point. I would like to see. Could you imagine like a last man standing, like a no holds barred, some shit like that?
So that's what I'm saying. This match would be insane because like especially with like Gunther and Damian pulled off just in a singles match alone. Now just add a stipulation with Drew McIntyre. I mean, shit, dude.
Exactly. And it's not
I
even
think you could do
like,
more a lot with it.
and feel it purely off of like personal hate, not even
Mm-hmm.
like for a title.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
Pure, just absolute hate and disdain towards each other.
we saw what Drew was able to do with the Punk feud when that was what was fueling it.
Exactly.
Then,
Exactly.
yeah, right. I'm excited for that. Working gold right now. But
Yes,
now,
sir.
a flashback to the phenomenal one AJ Styles winning the world title on SmackDown. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't even know when. It's like October or something like that when he won it from Jinder Mahal. So yeah, we saw that for some reason. Then Miz TV, this starts off. He comes to the ring and he doesn't get a word out because up on the stage, Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair fucking words. Flair brawl out from backstage onto the entrance ramp, and the crowd just starts chanting "Ole, ole, 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 ole" the entire
Ole,
time. It's amazing.
ole.
Tiffany gets thrown into some production equipment as Charlotte is started to be dragged away, but Tiffany climbs up onto like the video stage thing and dives
Because it's
onto
fucking Tiffy
absolutely
time.
everyone because it is Tiffy time. Tiffany yells that there is a new queen in town. That's right, because it's Tiffy time.
Oh God.
The Miz finally gets to talk and says that his guest tonight should have taken the final boss's offer like he told him to, but instead he got beat up by two great rappers, Travis Scott and John Cena. Little does he know, The Rock is actually wrapped in his career too. So three great
Dwayne.
rappers.
Dwayne.
He will go on to the main event of WrestleMania, and unlike me, he will not beat John Cena for the WWE title. Give it up for the self-proclaimed QB1 of WWE, Cody Rhodes. As Cody gets
Cody
Cody
Rhodes.
Rhodes,
Cody
whoa!
Whoa! All right.
He gets into the ring, and before he even gets the second woe out, the Miz obviously cuts it all off because he's a little bitch.
Fuck the Miz.
And straight up, fuck the Miz. Cody doesn't hear anything. Well, he starts yelling some shit before he is dropped by Cody with an uppercut and a crossroads, and Cody grabs the microphone. He's not taking no shit tonight. He goes, I don't want to talk to the Miz. I don't want to talk to anybody else unless his name is John Cena. And if you can find time in your busy schedule to join us on the road to WrestleMania, John, just know that I will be there too. We're obviously set for a meeting between those two on Monday, tomorrow.
If nothing happens, we riot.
If nothing happens, we riot. Exactly. Imagine, oh, dude, you know the segment that I'm waiting for more than anything? It's not Cena and Cody Rhodes having their promo off. It's not Cena and Punk. It's not Cena and Orton. Not Cena and Roman. When is R-Truth going to confront John Cena about everything?
On God, I need to know. Like, he looked
I
up to
want
him
that
growing
has to
up.
be a segment.
He
That
looked up
has
to
to be a
him,
legit
Bruno
segment.
Sammartino, Randy Savage, Stone Cold. Dude, R-Truth looked up to everyone in his
Bro,
age.
he watched the Soul Man Rocky Johnson growing up. He idolized John Cena growing up.
I'm saying.
Right.
I'm upset.
But yeah, that would be
We
an amazing
riot.
segment to have, honestly. um, we'll go on now to a flashback to earlier in the night. Nick Aldis' office. He's talking to Shinsuke Nakamura about misting the referee, and Shinsuke wants a rematch with LA Knight. But Priest walks in and wants to know where Drew McIntyre is at after he got dropped last week. And Shinsuke says something in Japanese, so Priest responds with something in Spanish. But he's looking for a fight, and he wants to give Nakamura a beating tonight. Nick doesn't know what any of them said, though, and he just said that he can give them a match tonight. So Priest versus Nakamura made official. We'll get into that in a second, but a vignette now. I'm pretty excited about this because it's a vignette. It's all orange, lightning and shit. We see a luchador clearly with a mask on, walking on the top ropes, doing some flips and shit. We see a clip of a hand with some very specific tattoos, and there's no debating that this has to be Rey Fenix, in all honesty.
Watch it not be Ray.
It has to be. Like, it has the exact same hand tattoos.
I'm telling you, we're gonna get the Lucha Brothers soon. Soon enough.
Soon enough we could, but I think we're gonna run them both as singles guys, honestly, for a little bit.
Yeah. I just don't think it
Like, based
presented
on
well.
this. Based on this.
Yeah. I just don't think it presented well.
Oh yeah, he'll be presented well. Rey Fenix is too good of a wrestler to not be presented well. Just imagine Penta, but 5 times more flippy.
Jesus.
Pretty awesome.
Penta El Zero.
Zero! But then I also like the fact that this gives them a chance to potentially establish them as 2 singles guys to eventually, because we're gonna have the draft after WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Presumably.
Yes. There you go. You can just reunite them then, in all honesty. So this can give us a couple month run, really only like a 2 or 3 month run, because Mania's not that far away.
No,
But
maybe it's not.
to establish Ray as a singles guy, establish Penta more as a singles guy, and then be like, you like this guy? You like this guy? Well, now they're a team, and they're
Get this shit.
brothers.
Lucha.
Lucha, lucha. I'm pretty
Excited.
pumped for that. But
Me
there's
too.
also another vignette later that we'll talk about. But before we get to that, it is Damian Priest taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. This ends in a disqualification, of course. One note before this match gets started, I really like Shinsuke. His entrance, that is. He doesn't do much else.
No.
He's got a really cool entrance. Uh, Shinsuke, though, he tries to use his agility to get away from Priest, but he is still slammed and thrown over the top rope. After commercial, Shinsuke is able to get the upper hand, but is caught mid-air and given a flatliner. Priest maintains the upper hand after sending Nakamura out of the ring and goes for his version of old school with a crossbody instead of like whacking the back of the neck. I like it though.
Mm-hmm.
Homage to the Undertaker. I'm obviously my favorite wrestler of all time. Drew
He's the
McIntyre.
GOAT.
Oh God, who's your favorite wrestler of all time? Not
My favorite
modern.
wrestler of all
Like
time.
right now, guys.
Oh. To be honest, Sting.
Sting!
But when he was the Crow, not before.
Yeah, right. Crow Sting is awesome. It looks like Damian's gonna win it all, but Drew McIntyre shows up at ringside. He distracts Priest, but it really does nothing because he still hits the South of Heaven. But before he can get the pin, Drew attacks him, and it causes a disqualification. Then after the match, they brawl in the ring, and Drew goes for the eyes, like gouges him, drops him so Shinsuke can hit the Kinshasa. And Drew continues the attack as Nakamura leaves and they spill to the outside. He hits him with the steel steps. Damian's getting fucking wrecked on this one. Drew pretends to walk up the ramp, and as he sees Priest back in the ring, he runs back into the ring, hits the Claymore, and screams about it being on site and being screwed over constantly. And he gives him a vicious stomp on the head. And Damian sells that like insanely well.
Dude, this. Oh, I'm telling you, we were just talking about it being a blood feud. Just keep it. Keep it that way.
Yeah, right.
That'd be so good.
Like now you have like that stomp right there can take Damian out for like a week or two, honestly.
I'm God.
Because I really like that was freaking vicious, dude.
It was very
Like
That
that it was
was,
like not quite Seth Rollins double stomping Roman, but
but you think it could
yeah,
compete?
I mean that can compete in all honesty. Like the way the way they did it. Like I might be just buying too much into it in all honesty, but I thought that was done really well.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we'll know as the weeks go on, and I'm excited because when it comes down to these two, you really don't need a title. Just make it a little. Just put a little stipulation on it, though. Give it like you were saying.
Hmm. And then you can reasonably say that the winner of this one should be going after a title.
Yeah, I agree to that.
Hmm. But now we'll go on to speaking of people holding titles, DIY talking to Kathy Kelly, and she asks them about the title defense that they have tonight. Ciampa asks her in return why SmackDown has the best tag team division in wrestling right now. It's because we're at the top of it. Everyone else is trying to rise up to our level. Johnny says that the Profits gained their popularity because of them, and they still aren't at their level. We want the smoke. No, no. In title matches, it's more like we like to choke. So they are about to figure out that DIY, we are the best tag team in the world. And how do we ask for a moment of silence in Espanol? So we can obviously ask it for the crowd. Then the machine guns walk in and they call them out, saying that there's unfinished business between the four of them. And after they are done with the Profits, they're going to settle it.
God.
Oh, God. Just
Well,
stirring that pot in that tag division.
now they're done.
Yeah,
They're
now they're
done.
done with them. Now we can settle that beef.
God,
Straight up. Loved that main event.
that shit was so
Kathy,
good.
you're right. Kathy Kelly, she's working overtime tonight, just like Byron Saxton did last week. She's with Piper Niven and Alba Fire, the Secret Hervis members. They ask for credentials before they let her talk to the champ herself, Chelsea Green. Kathy asks about narrowly retaining last week thanks to fire, and Chelsea points out all of the injustices that she has faced since becoming the first ever longest reigning, most dangerous United States Women's Champion. And thrown in all of these matches by Aldis, beaten up by Michin constantly. So now the Green administration is in full force. I hope that's the name of this faction now.
It is.
Yeah.
I feel like you would like try to manage the faction as like security guard or something.
I
Just
love
keep adding
this.
it.
I love this. It's so good. Zelina Vega walks in and she says that the new US champ, Zelina Vega, sounds great. Piper Niven then tells her that if she wants to get to Chelsea, she has to get through them. So next week, Zelina versus Piper, because she's going after the title. I love this setup now.
All right, Ryan, go work for the Green administration. I'll see you later.
I'm loving the Green administration. In all honesty, I don't want to see. I hope they don't split Piper and Chelsea up. In all honesty, they're too good together. They're too good of a pairing.
And it doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
Just these two, like I feel like Piper should take the title off of her.
Maybe, but in my personal world, I like this pairing way too much. It's like Imperium, how I never wanted to see Kaiser and Vinci break off from Gunther. I just wanted them to all be associated with each other forever and
Yeah.
just do their own thing. Do that with these guys. I like it too much to ever see them turn on each other. I get too much enjoyment out of it personally. That's why I watch wrestling.
He's a wrestling guy.
That's right. And also, our Canadian United States Women's Champion with her two Scottish security members
Hurts my head.
protecting the United States UN title.
It hurts my head.
I love it. And someone about got their head hurt real bad in the next match, and that was Carmelo Hayes. Got that shit caved in because he had a match against the
He
Viper
wanted the
Randy
smoke,
Orton.
but he really don't
He,
want the smoke.
no, you don't want the smoke right now. Randy's in Merc mode. Mello
Yeah.
gets bitched around for a little bit and dumped onto the table on the outside. After a commercial, Carmelo Hayes goes right after Randy's leg and puts on a sleeper. A power slam leads into the draping DDT, but it's countered by Mello, who attempts a springboard. He gets caught mid-air by a power slam, which I thought was insane. Was like could have easily gone wrong, but Randy's
Oh
just
yeah.
too
Randy's a
good.
pro.
Randy's too good. Mello rolls away from an RKO, but misses nothing but net, only to try a second one right after, and a suplex stops Mello, and they trade finisher attempts back and forth until Randy drops him with the RKO from out of nowhere for the win. After the match, Randy tries to shake his hand, but Mello refuses because he does the whole. I can't. I think it was before the match where he did the fake out, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
Randy backs up though after dropping him with a second RKO, and he drops the knee pad, backs up to the corner, and he charges in before, of all people, Kevin Owens appears, drags Mello out of the ring, and Randy and him start to fight for a second on the outside until Randy is driven spine first, surgically repaired spine, by the way, first into the steel post. And the last thing we see is a very, very pissed off Viper with the WrestleMania sign in the background. Foreshadowing.
Hey, I'm just gonna say with all his like Jimmy said, with all his damn breaks, he could build a house.
He could build a house. Straight up.
Just saying.
He is constantly missing.
Brick.
Brick.
Brick. All
Brick.
right, Mello. You
But this is
missed
another
a lot.
potential non-title match, honestly, that I think they could put a stipulation on.
I feel like I mean we obviously don't want to book stipulations for WrestleMania.
Yeah, right, right.
So if you do stipulations, I think you do Randy and Kevin, Drew and Damian. I think Drew and Damian is just more going to be a slugfest. To be honest, I sit there and
Hmm.
think about it. So
That's gonna
you
be
can
more
really
of a, just a
do,
traditional big meaty
yeah,
men, Jamaican man
smacking
meat.
man meat. God,
Oh God!
God, baby girl.
Yeah,
Anyways,
this one I could see being like a street fight, no holds barred type shit. Especially since
no
both of
holds
them
barred.
want to hit their death move. Like Kevin wants to hit that pile driver, and Randy wants to hit that punt.
Randy wants to knock that motherfucker out,
Mm-hmm.
and when he hits it,
Punt
he's
his
gonna
head.
fucking rock his shit.
Want to punt him from Vegas all the way back to Canada.
Hey, get your ass back in Toronto, Kevin.
Mm-hmm. Bop.
Bitch ass dude.
Then after this, of course, I'm pumped as fuck for that. But now replay of earlier in the night. It is after the six-man tag match. It's Fatu going crazy on Strowman. We go backstage now to Solo, Jacob, and my autocorrect put Thomas, but Tama all backstage hyping Fatu up. Solo says that he isn't on Fatu's level and he needs to take him out. Thomas says that it's time to run the play. So Fatu looks at the camera and he goes, "All right, Braun, let's get it. Run it back, coast to coast, post to post. You know it. Next week, it's time to run it again. And I'm a dog. Walk yo ass. Yada I mean. Fa
Yeah, I mean,
two.
Two. I'm on that Fatu mentality all 2025. Yeah, I mean.
Yada I mean. And I got an interesting thought to throw at you. Kind of like how I said it with the Piper and Chelsea stuff. I'm kind of moved past wanting Jacob to turn on Solo because I kind of like how the faction is being presented right now.
Jacob's gonna turn on Solo, or Solo turns
Ah,
on Jacob.
maybe, but I really like this. Like maybe not Solo up Fatu's ass, but moving Fatu into the
Like
top
the leader
dog
position.
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now Solo is kind of fallen back, and he's gonna run it as maybe the mid card guy until or maybe he'll run it as the tag guy with Tama until Tonga Loa comes back, and we can
Yeah,
run it like
I
that.
mean.
Yeah, yada I mean. Maybe not as
You
like
know,
the full bloodline type thing though.
I well, they're not even called a Bloodline anymore.
They're not. Yeah, that's why I'm saying you can't not run it as that type thing. Just they're
Oh,
trying to
okay,
run Ruckshot on SmackDown,
that's true. I like that.
not run the family.
Oh my God, they don't want to run. It's not no family bullshit no more.
Mm-mm.
Roman's got to do. Roman's not even dealing with that shit. That motherfucker's after everybody's neck right now.
Nah, he's settled it. He's got that Ula Fala. Now he's coming for
Got that
debts. He's
goddamn
coming to
oofalafa.
collect heads. He got the Ufalafa. Now
Love the
then, a
oofalafa.
very interesting vignette comes up. It's nothing more than a black screen and some smoke billowing through, and the number 4, and that's it. So my instant thought was Wyatt 6, just because who else is really associated with dark like rooms and stuff and numbers and that crap. But then I got to thinking that Malachi Black is sounded more reasonable, honestly, based
Malachi
on
Black
everything I've
is who
seen.
I'm looking for, more or less, because it's been 4 years since he's been in WWE,
That makes sense. Exactly. I've seen that.
and I've seen a
Seen
lot of
something about
rumors like
that.
that for him. So I'm going off of what Twitter's buying. I'm buying Malachi Black.
Yep.
He
I
just
am
got
buying
released.
more
He's one of the
Malachi
hotter free
Black.
agents with Ray Phoenix. So honestly, we
hmm
got 2 vignettes, meaning we're probably gonna get 2 debuts, which means it's gonna suck because I don't think we're gonna see the Wyatt 6 anymore,
Any more?
unless something goes on with Alexa,
I don't even know.
because there's a lot more going on with everything else for WrestleMania, and then there's like I think I talked to you. They got or my dad. Wyatt 6 have plans for WrestleMania. Well, they got 5 weeks. They need to do something now in order for all this shit to work.
Yeah. Like it's starting to
Like,
fill in
yada, I
now.
mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, that will
Ah,
be pretty exciting though.
2.
Sorry, excuse me. But then we go on to our world heavyweight champion. I loved this next segment and this next match.
Dude, I actually was really happy with this match.
Yeah, it was really cool. Gunther, the world heavyweight champion, comes to the ring. He goes, the road to WrestleMania starts in Barcelona. He talks some shit saying that he'd rather be in a different city, though. I can't remember the name of it.
Real
talks
Madrid or Madrid. He'd rather be in Madrid,
Madrid. There
Spain.
you go, Madrid. And they all love Jey Uso as he wastes his time dancing around just to entertain you. He eventually says that Jey Uso is much like his opponent tonight, Axiom, and the fact that all he cares about is entertaining the crowd. But that does introduce the hometown guy, Axiom from Spain, and we get a
The
match between
first,
these two.
the first, what was it? It's like the first. It's like some like the first something like of being from Spain. I forget exactly what it was, but it was like
Is it
something that's never been done in
the
WWE. I
first
forget
ever like
exactly.
WWE superstar from Spain? Maybe.
Something like that. You're
Who
purely brought up through WWE through Spain instead of going through the Indies over there. Something like that. I don't remember.
knows? But this was awesome. This is, of course, two two guys who have their roots in European wrestling
Oh my
having a
god,
goddamn European wrestling match on WWE TV. I love it.
I love this shit, dude.
Gunther, he big brothers the fuck out of Axiom off of the bell, but Gunther,
As he
he
should.
can't land that chop, and he gets chopped instead. The crowd is going insane for their hometown guy.
Oh god,
After a
got to.
commercial, got to, dude. Like, if we had, like, I mean, we kind of do with Cody Rhodes and all that stuff,
Cody,
but I feel like
Cody
they have
Rhodes.
more of a connection with Axiom because it's their one guy from Spain. So they're all like, "This is our fucking guy," you know.
Oh my god, yes, I agree to that.
And after a commercial, though, Gunther, he dumps Axiom out of the ring and he goes after the Mask. Shit, sorry. This leads though to a dragon screw on Gunther that floors the world champion. Then Gunther eats a knee, but still gets a huge dropkick and a powerbomb for a near fall. Was surprised he even kicked out of the powerbomb. That
Oh
was
god,
insane. Gunther goes up top for a splash, and Axiom meets him up there and gets a top rope Hurricane Rana, followed by the Golden Ratio, but the champ kicks out. Gunther fights out of a submission hold and gets near him and ends him with a large lariat and a duo of power bombs. Then after the match, Gunther locks in the sleeper until eventually kicking him away. I was waiting for the Yeet Man to arrive.
yay!
Yeet. But
He's in
no, this was just
Belgium.
a really cool match.
Brother is
Yeah,
in
nah, dude.
Belgium.
Belgium's brother is in Belgium. There's gonna be more with Gunther later that I really want to get your thoughts on because I think that feud's really gonna heat up after that.
I'm excited.
We get a replay of the Monday Night Raw main event now, which leads us to the wise man Paul Heyman. He is standing in the ring. He goes, "Tonight, he is going to hype us on two things." He tells us that today is officially known as Roman Reigns Day because it is the official release of WWE 2K25. I have not played it yet. I plan on buying it and I plan on playing it.
Me too.
And for all of you at home who do not plan on playing the video game, please wait until SmackDown is over so that we can keep our ratings high, especially during my segments.
Oh my god.
That leads me to item number 2. Apparently, some people have a problem with it being Roman Reigns Day or him being on the cover. One of these people, when it comes to being my friend, is the best in the world, CM Punk. But unfortunately, it's not CM Punk Day. It is Roman Reigns Day. And it sure as hell isn't Seth freaking Rollins Day. Crowd starts singing, whoa. Paul hates that song, he says.
God,
And
talk
if
your shit.
anyone has a problem with the fact that I hate that song or the fact that Roman Reigns is on the cover or the fact that it's Roman Reigns Day, then you can say it straight to the face of the tribal chief in Bologna, Italy. That's where they're going to be at. That answers your question from earlier. The crowd boos, and Heyman tells them all that they can just go get some cheap. That's not like that they can't get some cheapo plane tickets and fly on over there. I mean, Mussolini isn't going to stop you now. That was amazing. Only Paul Heyman's allowed to say stuff like that. Then,
Oh god.
when Roman Reigns appears live on SmackDown, you can say anything to his face. And that's not a prediction, that's
That's a
a
spoiler.
spoiler.
When you both
So, do we think we're going to see, like, maybe Punk or Rollins come to SmackDown to confront Roman?
Yes. Oh yeah. 100%. Why wouldn't you have them go to SmackDown to confront Roman? Have them both do it.
There you go. Definitely, definitely. I mean, it's kind of interesting though that now that we've gotten to the road to WrestleMania, it seems that the draft just doesn't really matter as much, or more
Yeah.
so maybe the fact that it's the European tour that it doesn't matter as much because we want as many cities to see our top stars as possible type shit.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, if you wanted to make sense, like you keep it that way. You don't just go off your top stars like Vince would have.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So that's what I'm thinking.
I agree with that. But then we get a rundown for SmackDown next week in Bologna, Italy. Roman Reigns, he will be there to address everything. Jade Cargill versus Liv Morgan is going to be a match. Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven. And then Braun Strowman versus Jacob Faboo! We see the Street Profits backstage hyping up for their match. Then Los Garza walks up saying that they are here to wish them luck. And when they win, they will love to take those titles off of them. And then the Profits start talking. They go, "Hey, Barcelona, you already know what it is. It's for the past few months that we've been on the shelf. All we've been hearing is noise, noise, noise. But tonight we put all the critics to sleep and wake everybody else up. Dawkins tells us that tonight is not the time for talking. Tonight they will walk out as the new WWE Tag Team Champions because the Street Profits are up and we want the
Want the
smoke."
smoke?
On God.
My God.
Before we get there, though, this is really what I wanted to ask you about from earlier. This next segment, Big Jim. He's backstage, just kind of doing nothing. I don't even know. But Gunther eventually walks up, sits next to him, and he's very serious, very somber here. He goes, "Jimmy, I wanted to talk to you. We have some things in common. I have a younger brother, and you have a twin, but you're clearly the more mature of the two. I wanted to talk to you. And, I mean, did you see the match I just had? Just like Jay, he left it all out there. Just like Jay, I left him laying out there like a wet towel. When I meet Jay at WrestleMania, I'll have to do the same thing to him. Jimmy, I'm going to have to hurt him. So can you, as the more mature one, step in and make the right decisions for him?" Jimmy tells him that he's got it all twisted though, because at WrestleMania, the ring general, he's going to drop down a rank, and he will drop the WWE World Heavyweight Championship to the main event in every,
Yeet.
because in every city we yeetin', yeet.
Yeet.
Gunther tells him that he's sorry, that it was a mistake about your maturity. I tried, I really did. And he walks off. I'm very I'm this ties in what I mentioned earlier to Jay not being on the show. I feel like Jay is gonna not be on another show, which is gonna lead to Jimmy getting absolutely wrecked by Gunther.
I think I don't. I think Jimmy is gonna, or I think Jay will be on the show, but I don't think. Um, I think Jay will. I think the opposite. Actually, I think Jay's gonna come out and help him because that's his brother.
Nah,
So
yeah, he's obviously gonna try to help him, but nah, he's not gonna be able to. Like, the angle is gonna be Gunther is gonna bloody the shit out of Jimmy,
oh yeah, I
and
like that idea.
that's gonna start to, because like everyone's been talking like, "Oh man, I can't wait for the angle where just like last year when The Rock bloodied up Cody, I can't wait for Gunther to bloody up Jay or something like that." And I'm like, you could do that, or you could bloody up the next best
Jimmy,
thing to Jay, which is his twin,
God,
and have him play that psychological game with Jay. And then we can get to crash out Jey Uso after, like, "You touching my family now, Uso?" Like, that's a line you do not cross.
God, you don't do that, Oos. Telling you,
Mm-mm.
don't fucking do it. We
Nah,
yeet over
Oos.
here.
Yeet. Everybody's
Yeet.
yeet and yeet.
Mm.
Now then, our main event, the WWE Tag Team Championships. This was amazing. It's DIY versus the Street Profits. Ciampa and Dawkins start off with both teams going back and forth with tags. DIY are in control during and after a commercial, but Ciampa still can't get the fairy tale ending. Dawkins gets the hot tag and runs absolutely wild with Montez flying around. And I don't know what it was, but a double team move leads to Montez attempting a splash, and Ciampa gets the knee up, and they hit the shatter machine only for Dawkins to break it up. Ciampa is pounced into the barricade, which dude, that reminded me of like the JD McDonough moonsault into the freaking table. That scared the shit out of me. Like
Right.
that looked painful.
Hey, we want the smoke. I'm telling you.
He gives Johnny Gargano uh, a neckbreaker, followed by the Profits hitting the blockbuster for a near fall thanks to Ciampa. Then Pretty Deadly, the number one contenders, is seen watching backstage throughout the match, and Dawkins misses a senton and is hit by a super kick assisted fairy tale ending, and that's a near fall again. Then Meat in the middle fails as Johnny kicks Ciampa in the face. This lets Dawkins give him a big ass spine buster, and Dawkins to fly through the heavens with a splash, giving them the win and the titles.
We want the smoke.
Oh God, they got it.
That's all I'm gonna say. We want the smoke.
This was amazing. This is obviously what we've been wanting since the Profits came back. Like, now we're gonna start building up. Now we can start building to Pretty Deadly versus these guys in a singles feud. But I'm more excited to see how we form these 5 teams into a match at WrestleMania.
I'm telling you, dude, do a ladder match.
Mm-hmm. Do the ladder match with
You could
all
do like
5, or like
you could do like a I don't know some sort of like I don't fuck I don't know. Dude, WrestleMania is gonna be I don't know.
yeah, there's
I'm trying to think what
definitely
you could do for a lot of these
there's a
titles.
lot of directions you can go. Like genuinely,
Mm-hmm.
like there's so many you could go, and all of them are all like really good. In all honesty, so it's all just up to Triple H now. He's got to do the right shit with it.
Do we think there's gonna be a
Got the right
pre-show?
ingredients. You just got to cook it right.
Do we think there's gonna be a pre-show to WrestleMania where they do matches?
Oh yeah. I don't know about there being matches on the pre-show. I think they're
Because
definitely going to do a
we
pre-show.
haven't seen that in forever.
Exactly. That's why I don't think they're going to do it. But I think they're definitely going to have a big pre-show type thing with interviews, all the jazz.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that.
It's going to be an electric weekend. We've obviously got a predictions video. We're going to be trying to predict the rest of the matches that are going to be on the card, other than the obvious world title matches that have been made right now. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeet.
Yeet. Alex, have we got anything else we want to add on this episode?
I don't. Honestly, this week was amazing. Hey man, I'm telling you, we only win because we want the smoke.
Mm-hmm. That is right. We are officially on the European tour on the road to WrestleMania. About less than 40 days out now. I mean, something like that, right? 30 something? Or only like 4 weeks? I don't even know. But
We
point is,
are like 28 days or something like that. 30 days.
30 days
I
away.
think 30 days.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So not that long away from WrestleMania. Be on the lookout for that WrestleMania predictions video that I mentioned just a second ago. Go to all of our socials. Go to Twitter, AR Wrestling _. Go to Insta, AR _ Wrestling _. Our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon is AR Wrestling Podcast. YouTube, type in AR Wrestling 1020 into the search engine. Go to Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/AR _ Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, we will catch y'all in the next one. Thank you!
Thank you!
Or like this week, we say, gracias!
Gracias!